Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the news from Saba Satellite Channel from Marib. Let's begin with the headlines.
President Al-Alimi discusses de-escalation efforts with German diplomats.
Al-Arada chairs Marib executive meeting, reaffirms support for presidential decisions.
Egypt's president praises Saudi efforts to host Southern Dialogue Conference.
Welcome back and to the details. Dr. Rashad Mohammed Al-Alimi, President of the Presidential Leadership Council, met on Monday with the Charge d'Affaires of Federal Republic of Germany, Sophia Bogner, to discuss national developments in light of ongoing efforts to reduce tensions and protect civilians in the eastern provinces. President Al-Alimi praised Germany and the European Union for their support for the Yemeni people and the country's unity and territorial integrity, and aspirations to end the Houthi coup, restore security and stability, and advance peace and development. He reviewed recent developments in the East, the Presidential Leadership Council's efforts to preserve consensus since its formation, and the repercussions of repeated unilateral actions by the Southern Transitional Council on government unity, living conditions and social peace, necessitating responsible state action to protect civilians in line with the Constitution and transitional references. The President commended the pivotal role of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in de-escalation, civilian protection, and humanitarian support in Hadramaut, noting that coordinated action with Saudi-led coalition achieved its objectives in accordance with international humanitarian law.
Member of Presidential Leadership Council and Governor of Marib, Sultan Al-Arada, chaired the Governorate's regular executive meeting reviewing national developments amid exceptional circumstances. The Marib Executive Office reaffirmed its full support for the political leadership headed by Rashad Mohammed Al-Alimi and endorsed recent sovereign decisions, including the nationwide state of emergency amid safeguarding security, stability, and national constants. Al-Arada congratulated local leaders on the new year, calling for higher performance, institutional discipline, and improved public services. He stressed accelerating annual performance reports, budgets, and plans as tools to strengthen accountability, optimize resources, and advance development outcomes. The meeting reviewed sectoral reports identifying challenges and approved recommendations to enhance coordination, reinforce state presence, and meet citizens' needs across Marib.
Parliament Speaker Sheikh Sultan Al-Barakani met on Monday with the U.S. Ambassador to Yemen, Stephen Fagan, to review national developments and ways to unify regional and international efforts in support of Yemen's constitutional legitimacy and in confronting the threat posed by the Houthi militias to Yemen and regional security. The two sides discussed recent developments in Hadramaut and Al-Mahra, welcoming the restoration of calm, the successful handover of military camps, and the extension of state authority without bloodshed or damage to public or private facilities. They stressed the need for the full implementation of the Riyadh Agreement, rejecting unilateral military posturing and underscoring the importance of unified efforts to end the rebellion and restore the state. Al-Barakani and the U.S. Ambassador also emphasized international support for Yemen's legitimate leadership under Rashad Mohammed Al-Alimi, affirming Washington's continued backing of Yemen's unity, sovereignty, and stability, and its commitment to alleviating the suffering of the Yemeni people.
Prime Minister Salim Saleh bin Buraik met on Monday with the Japan's ambassador to Yemen, Yuichi Nakashima, to discuss bilateral cooperation and ways to enhance it across various fields, as well as recent developments following events in the Eastern Governorate. The meeting reviewed Japan's potential role in supporting government efforts to normalize conditions after the restoration of security and stability in Hadramaut Governorate and Al-Mahra Governorate, and to launch a new phase of development and reconstruction decisions also covered government efforts to address economic and humanitarian challenges and ensure the continuity of basic services. Prime Minister Ben Brake praised Japan's continued humanitarian and development support for Yemen and its positive role in easing humanitarian suffering. The Japanese ambassador reaffirmed Tokyo's commitment to supporting Yemen and strengthening coordination with its government to promote stability.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates Shaya Al-Zindani discussed the latest developments in Yemen during a phone call on Monday with the UK Minister of State for the Middle East, Hamish Falconer. Minister Al-Zindani briefed the British official on the intensive efforts made by the state leadership to de-escalate tensions and contain the repercussions of unilateral moves by the Southern Transitional Council, particularly in Hadramaut and Al-Mahra. He praised the pivotal role of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in facilitating the handover of military camps and restoring stability. For his part, Minister Falconer reaffirmed the UK's close monitoring of developments, stressed the importance of prioritising political solutions and de-escalation, and renewed Britain's firm support for the Presidential Leadership Council and the Yemeni government toward a comprehensive and sustainable political settlement.
Hadramaut Governor Salem Al-Khanbashi has stressed the importance of preserving the national gains achieved so far and strengthen security and stability in a way that contributes to improving living conditions and public services for citizens across the governorate. Speaking up in his arrival in Mukalla as part of the local authority efforts to normalize conditions and reinforce stability, Governor Al-Khanbashi said Hadramaut is entering a new phase marked by tolerance, coexistence, strong partnership between local authorities and the community, enhanced services and development, and activation of state institutions to better serve citizens through the governorate. He underlined the need for a collective effort to preserve Hadramaut as a model of security and coexistence, safeguard national achievements, and further enhance stability to improve citizens' living and service conditions. The governor said he will closely review normalization efforts across Hadramaut Governorate, assess needs of districts, and discuss ways to strengthen stability and development.
Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Muammar Al-Iryani, has stressed the importance of ensuring regular institutional work within the ministry and all affiliated authorities, institutions and sectors in order to strengthen administrative discipline and guarantee unified decision-making. In an administrative circular regulating the mechanism for receiving and implementing directives, Minister Al-Iryani stated that any instructions issued outside the official institutional framework are considered null and void, non-binding, and carry no administrative or legal effect. He held anyone who carries out such directives fully responsible for the resulting legal and administrative consequences. The minister further emphasized that no directives, instructions, or orders may be received or implemented unless they are issued directly by the Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, or by the individuals granted explicit written authorization.
From political formation to any ground escalation, Southern Transitional Council has passed through different stages since its establishment in 2017. The following report highlights STC's key political and security milestones from early expansion moves to recent escalation in Hadramaut and Al-Mahra, and examines how these developments have shaped the current moment as the state moves to reassert authority and safeguard Yemen's unity from the past to the present.
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has praised the efforts of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to host a comprehensive conference bringing together southern Yemeni components for dialogue on southern issue. At the invitation of Rashad Mohammed Al-Alimi, the remarks came during President al-Sisi's meeting today at Al-Ittihadiyya Palace in Cairo with Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan. According to the Egyptian presidential spokesman Mohammed al-Shinawi, the talks addressed a number of regional issues of mutual concern and reaffirmed the alignment of Egyptian and Saudi positions on the need for peaceful solutions to regional crises. The meeting stressed the importance of preserving the unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of the states, particularly in Yemen, Sudan, Somalia, and the Gaza Strip.
In parallel with regional diplomatic efforts, Turkey has also reiterated its position in support of Yemen's unity and stability. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has renewed his country's support for the territorial integrity of Yemen and Somalia. In a statement, the Turkish presidency said Erdogan made the remarks during a phone call with United Arab Emirates President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, stressed Ankara's readiness to contribute to efforts aimed at achieving stability in both countries. President Erdogan also expressed Turkey's willingness to help bring parties together and support regional and international initiatives to end crises in Yemen and Somalia, while reaffirming continued Turkish efforts to address humanitarian challenges in the region.
For continuous updates, stay with Saba Satellite Channel. Thank you for watching and have a good time.